Well, hi there, food friends. It's Kevin.
And Marianne behind the camera.
And welcome to Cavalcade of Food. And today, Mare, we are going to look at some vintage housewares. In particular, we're going to look at milk glass. How about that? You can't drink it. You can drink out of it, some of them, but milk glass. So milk glass was a very popular type of glass that was manufactured in the mid-20th century. They made a lot of it after the war, the 50s, the 60s, into the 70s. And I always loved it. And I have been accumulating it for a long time. And most of the major glass manufacturers made milk glass. Anchor Hocking, Fenton Glass, Hazel-Atlas, Westmoreland, Fenton, Indiana glass, the list goes on. And often milk glass was just a variation that was used the same molds as the companies made their clear glass or colored glass ware with. So I've got a lot of it. This is not a comprehensive analysis or review of every piece of milk glass ever made, because I certainly don't have that much. I mean, we're talking about thousands of pieces, but I do have some samples here of some really popular milk glass patterns, and we'll take a closer look at them. These are things that you may have collected. Let me know. Maybe these are things that you got as a gift, your mother had it, your grandmother had it, you remember seeing it at the stores. Most milk glass was fairly inexpensive, just like any other pressed glass was, and most of this stuff was sold at kind of discount department stores or dime stores over the years. So let's take a look at some vintage housewares, milk glass servingware. So here's a pattern of milk glass that I have a lot of, and I think more than one company made this pattern. And Marianne, you can see maybe
Yes.
grapes
Right.
and vines. And I actually, here, Anchor Hocking called this vintage design. Milk White Punch Set by Anchor Hocking. And here is this is the stand. You can see it has the grapes and the leaves from the vine. And then, of course, we have a bowl that sits on top with big grapes on it. You see that?
Yeah.
This is a fun set. But they also made this set in clear. So, this just happened to be the milk glass, or milk white, they called it, version. But there were other things available in this version, like this sort of squat dish. Could be for hors d'oeuvres or things like that. You'll notice two variations. One has the gold trim, the other does not. It's plain. You'll find a number of these milk glass dishes trimmed with this beautiful gold on it. But they didn't always all have that. Here's something you see a lot of. This is a candy dish in milk glass. Vintage, you see the grapes and the vines. Normally you find it just like that. I don't know how many of these I found, but there is a lid, folks. There is a lid that goes on top of it. I think a lot of people broke the lids, Mare, and that's why you often don't see them with the lids. You just see them like this. They're still nice, these footed candy dishes. Again, in that pattern. Here is a sort of a larger fruit bowl, again in the vintage pattern. Now this one, a lot of this stuff is not marked on the bottom. This one is. It says Anchor Hocking on it. And so we know that that is an Anchor Hocking and glassware. Here is a milk pitcher. That's what I always used it for. Here's another standing sort of candy dish, a little pedestal bowl square in the vintage pattern. And yes, often you'll find it just like this. But here's the lid. It's got the little scalloped kind of top that goes on it. Here's another bowl. I always like this. This one is a fruit bowl, but I often use this for, this is perfect for potato chips and pretzels and salty snacks when you're having a big party, and it just looks wonderful. And then Anchor Hocking was so good at this. Here's a cake. Look at this, Mare. A cake pedestal. But what Anchor Hocking did is, if I turn this upside down, you will see that this is actually a piece, a separate piece. You could just buy these. This was like a parfait glass. Can you see that, Mare?
Yeah.
And they glued it to the bottom here, and now you've got a cake pedestal, or you could turn it over, put your crushed ice with shrimp, and then fill the middle with cocktail sauce. Or some kind of dip, and you know what I mean, other things to put in it. So I like it as a cake pedestal. It looks beautiful on the table with a cake on it, but it can be used upside down. And these are just essentially two pieces that they glued together to make the cake pedestal. So this is just one example. Oh, and look at this, lighting the way. Milk glass was often used for lamps, bedroom lamps. They made shades and they made bases. This one's painted, but you'll see a lot of milk glass used in applications like this for lighting, because where you wouldn't want a clear glass shade, it would be too harsh. Look how beautiful the milk glass just sort of softens the glow of the bulb. So, honey, that Anchor Hocking cake plate reminded me I have some other examples. So here's one, again with a footed, again not marked. It has a wonderful little fleur-de-lis pattern. And look at these grooves, Mare. Already, like, it'll tell you how to cut the cake. That's actually a pretty good piece, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then these were very popular. Here's a small one and a large one, not marked. And you know, we have our food friends who love the same stuff that I do and collect this thing. I'm going to ask them to chime in with manufacturers or pattern names, because I don't know them all. But sometimes people would weave a ribbon through these open loops on the side. Really would dress it up. You'd often see that. Here's an example of a manufacturer. This might be, not sure if this could be Federal Glass or Indiana Glass, but these two cake plates are exactly the same. They have the same mold, except one is in the milk and one is just in the clear pressed glass. So again, you would have variations on that, and I think they're both beautiful, but you know, depending on your table setting or whatever, you may want a white in the cake. You may want a white version of the cake pedestal versus a clear. So this was popular, Mare. This is, and you know, I don't know, it's been a few years already, I did a Housewares video on relish trays. So here's a beautiful milk glass relish tray, and look at that basket, kind of a basket weave design,
Yeah.
pressed in.
Yeah.
That was nice. They made these clear also, but you see the milk glass ones a lot. And here is a couple other relish trays, or divided dishes, but to me I use them as relish trays. Again, beautiful gold trim. These are Anchor Hocking. This one is marked, this one is not, but beautiful with the gold trim. Again, don't put this in the dishwasher because that gold trim will disappear. So this is a hand wash item, but anyways, really nice. Then let's talk about bowls. This one is sort of similar in terms of its pattern. Do you see that on the bottom here? I think this might be, this one is Federal Glass. Not sure if this one is Federal or Indiana or who did this, but anyways, beautiful. This one's kind of got a bubble design. Again, you'll see these in clear. Sometimes you'll see these in color, like amber and green also. Really nice. And then we've got an assortment. These two are the same pattern. I'm not sure. This might be Westmoreland glass. This is actually, you see, look how thick that glass is. You see that?
Yeah.
And it is glass, folks, believe me, because I've broken pieces before. But you can see this one has actually a mold number. It says 18 on it. This one does not, that I can see. But you've got sort of a footed bowl here. And then look at this. And it says press cut on the inside in a circle. But this would be nice for a little banana split, wouldn't it? Or something. Celery. I put radishes in them. Now here's some really nice pieces. This is really much finer. This is a Fenton, and it's marked Fenton Glass on the bottom. Hobnail, footed dish. Just really quite beautiful. And then this is not marked. This has got, I don't know if the camera can pick it up, this has got a beautiful floral design. I think those are roses, certainly looks like to me, on it. Footed bowl there. Boy, these I see everywhere in colors, clear, milk glass. This is a candy dish or a side dish. Really popular. Couldn't you just see that filled with M&Ms at Grandma's house, Mare?
Or even a salad.
Or a salad, yes, it is salad size. Another popular one were these diamond-shaped bowls. And these are great for candy, nuts, ice cream, things like that. Again, here's an example of, here's the clear version, here's the milk glass version. Same mold, same bowl, same manufacturer, okay? Not sure if these are Anchor or if somebody else made those, but I see these often. Same bowl, same mold. This one is marked. This is from the E.O. Brody Company in Cleveland, Ohio. Ohio, of course, glass-making capital of the United States. And Brody made a lot of glassware for the floral industry. Like for florists, you know, vases and things like that. And of course, picture this, Mare, you put a piece of floral foam on the inside,
right,
and then, you know, could build a floral arrangement. And these may have, that's what these, I use them to serve stuff in. This one's still got the price tag on it from the Salvation Army. But anyways, they are the same, but here's one in green. They made it in various colors. And then here's one in milk glass. So, Mary, here's just a few more milk glass examples here. Bud vases. Bud vases were a big milk glass item. Again, I've seen almost all of these bud vases in a clear version, or sometimes a colored glass. You've got some short ones here, which are sort of cute. And then just, here, this one is Who's Your Glass? A lot of these are unmarked. This one is a Federal, it looks like. And this is Randall. But, yeah, they made these. Here's another Brody. Again, they made a lot of floral stuff. But wonderful milk glass bud vases. You ever need a bud vase, just go to your closest thrift store. They're in there all the time. Then, again, anything they made in clear glass, they'd often do a milk glass version. Here's an Anchor Hocking. It sort of has a twisted little linear pattern here with a nice gold trim, creamer and sugar. Here's some sugars. I think these are Federal glass. Again, you often see the clear version of these. Here's the milk glass version. And then finally, candlesticks. So here's the clear, and here's the milk. Same thing. So depending on how you want it to set the table, or maybe the color candle you used. Again, most of this stuff, we're talking dime store treasures. These are things that were inexpensive, but you know what? They looked nice. A lot of people have watched the early American press cut video that I did. I'll put that at the end, a link to that, because that was one of the most popular press cut patterns made in the United States. They made millions of pieces. They cranked out, glass companies cranked out just tons and tons of this stuff. People say, well, what is it worth? Not a lot, okay? Most of these, unless some of the Fenton stuff might be worth a little more, but honestly, most of this stuff was made in huge quantities. It was inexpensive, and they are available in thrift stores and rummage sales all the time. So that's not why you collect it necessarily. Collect it because it's just fun. It's a part of our American culture and history from the middle part of the 20th century. It reminds us of things that our moms had, our grandmothers had, that we saw in people's homes growing up, and makes us feel good when we see them. That's what this stuff is all about. So, anyways, a little milk glass, and I want to thank my sister for working the camera.
You're welcome.
And I want to thank our food friends for watching. Mayor, let's give them the old razzle-dazzle website.
Cavalcadeoffood.com.
There it is, cavalcadeoffood.com. And that'll connect you to my Saturday morning radio program and my other YouTube channel called Always Analog, and all kinds of other great stuff. So I hope everybody's warm and well. Tell me about the milk glass you have or you remember, and we'll see you again soon here on Cavalcade of Food. Bye, everybody.
Bye.